On this episode of In the Fight, U.S. Army soldiers advise Afghan troops during an 80-hour mission in Kandahar Province. Marine Joint Terminal Attack Controllers are put through their paces in a combat zone. National Guard soldiers train for air assaults. Multinational Special Forces teams show off their skills. And a wounded warrior receives a place to hang his hat. In a combat zone, there are few better ways to learn than through experience. Army Private First Class Christina McKenzie reports on how 1st of the 12th Infantry Regiment soldiers are advising while Afghan security forces take the lead during an 80-hour mission in Kandahar Province.
From classroom training to real-world training, the 2nd Mobile Strike Force of the Afghan National Army is learning what it takes to conduct missions from the front.
It's important that they take a lead in their security. This is a new battalion that just got done with their initial training, and so our job is to partner with them to help them become an operational force.
1st Battalion, 12th Infantry Regiment partnered with the 2nd Mobile Strike Force to conduct Operation Renegade Fury. The purpose of this mission was for the ANA to demonstrate the skills they learned in training.
So the mission was accomplished today was to demonstrate the ability of the Mobile Strike Force to conduct an 80-hour mission. This is day 2 of that 80-hour mission, and to focus on how they can do logistical resupply, how they can operate with their vehicles in the furthest reaches of this area of operations.
The Mobile Strike Force took the lead on the mission to search compounds for IED materials, mortar rounds, and any other threats. 112th assisted by pulling security while the ANA conducted a sweep. The partnership was important to help make the mission a success.
When we do operations in an area, we have good cooperation with each other. We run the operation together. It's effective in a positive way.
2nd Mobile Strike Force and 112 cleared 2 villages to finish day 2 of the 80-hour mission. Army Private First Class Christina McKenzie, Kandahar Province, Afghanistan.
When ground troops come under attack, it is the role of Joint Terminal Attack Controllers, or JTACs, to call in and direct close air support. Army Staff Sergeant Rich Stowe shows us the process as Marine JTACs are put through their paces alongside their Georgian counterparts in an active combat zone.
It seems like a routine patrol in southern Afghanistan, but these Marines are about to summon some of the military's most powerful weapons.
We're to insert a Marine Georgian team to an OP in vicinity of a location that had previously been identified, approved for aviation ordnance.
It's called firepower control, and these Marines are experts. Captain William Brown of the 1st Air Naval Gunfire Liaison Company is a Joint Terminal Attack Controller, or JTAC. His team can call for and direct firepower from just about anywhere, at any time.
That's one of the big reasons we're out here, is to in terms of operating in a joint environment where we as Army aviators may be talking to other services. We've got specific brevity terms and certain calls that we need to make and calls that he's expecting to hear. So we're out here practicing that along with doing actual engagement.
View from us. Contact.
This is not an easy task. With the help of their Georgian counterparts, this 4 Marine firepower control team must secure the site and set up base. Then they have to coordinate with Army pilots and master gunners to deliver the ordnance, give feedback, and repeat with different types of aircraft and munitions. And putting so many pieces together makes communication critical.
As you can tell by looking at these guys, the comms piece is huge to make sure you set up the comms correctly. The coordination to make sure that the crews, and they did briefs beforehand, over the last couple weeks to make sure that the crews understood the J-fire language so that when they came in and they got the 9-line calls, they understood the joint language that they have to understand to shoot.
Once everybody is on the same page, the Marines designate a target and give the go-ahead to strike.
What he told me to do was call out my laser whenever the laser's on and advise the controller that I'm lasing so that way he can let the aircraft know that the laser is active and he's approved to drop his order.
Laser on!
Lasing! 1114!
The firepower control team is designed specifically to choreograph joint capability, whether from an aircraft, ground-based artillery, or gunboats at sea.
Which is the next rising terrain.
And all this training, oh yeah, it's conducted in a combat zone.
In these situations where we're attempting to maintain proficiency by conducting live operations and we find ourselves in a combat zone, we treat it as if it was any other combat mission. We brief it as such, we execute as such, and we do not remove or lessen the importance of little details, such as the minesweeping that you saw, maintaining the foot traffic in the cleared path that's already been swept, marking methods, treated the same way.
From Regional Command South in southern Afghanistan, I'm Army Staff Sergeant Rich Stoll.
Hi, I'm Specialist Taylor Swires with the 252nd Engineer Company, currently deployed to Bagram, Afghanistan. I'd like to give a shout out to my mom, my dad, my brother Blake, and all my friends and family back home. I love and miss you guys. I'll see y'all soon.
I'm Lieutenant Jesse Diaz from Colorado Springs, Colorado. I want to tell my kids, Junior and Angel Diaz, that I miss and love them very much, and I can't wait to see you when I get home.
I'm Captain Andrew Rupert here in Al Udeid Air Base, Qatar. I'd like to say hi to all my friends and family in Anchorage, Alaska, and then send a love out to my family in Utah, my daughter Cheryl, my son Jaden, and my wife Mindy. I love you all. I'll see you real soon.
How you doing, America? I'm Specialist Travon Biggers from Columbus, Georgia. I'm out in Bagram Airfield with 1st through 20th Field Artillery Regiment. I'd like to give a shout out to all my friends and family out in Georgia, Kentucky, my brother in Fort Bragg, and my father in Italy. I love y'all. I miss y'all. I'll be home soon. Make sure y'all have a good home-cooked meal ready for me because I'm ready to eat, whore.
Coming up, National Guard soldiers train for air assaults. And Special Forces teams show off their skills. Check out dvidshub.net for the latest accurate and reliable information as In the Fight continues. When was the National Guard originally founded? The answer when we return.
With the new Military 24/7 app from Divots, you turn your favorite mobile device into a window to the front lines. Connect with your nation's finest men and women through our video and photography archives and stay up to date with news reported directly from service members. Quickly share information and breaking stories with friends via Facebook, Twitter, or email. News, photos, video. Your military 24/7.
I lost my brother Frank in the Battle of Iwo Jima.
He served on 4 combat tours.
In Vietnam.
In Iraq.
Afghanistan.
There's a life that was lost behind that pin.
I put it on for my wife.
For my husband.
My brother.
My dad.
My son.
We wear it because we honor those that we lost.
To learn more about the stories behind the Gold Star Pins, visit goldstarpins.org.
When you put on the uniform, you are held to a higher standard.
A lot of times, you're not going to know what's going to be thrown at you, so you need to be ready for anything.
Stress can affect every Marine and Marine family.
It's very hard for me to have a career when we're always moving around.
We have the same bills that everybody else does.
And you never want to let your staff NCOs down.
The De-Stress Line provides anonymous counseling for Marines and Marine families when it's needed most. It takes courage to ask for help. Call today and let us help you win your personal battles.
When was the National Guard originally founded? The answer is B, 1636. Jumping from fixed-wing aircraft is common for military paratroopers. Jumping from a helicopter, however, is a different story. 173rd Airborne Brigade soldiers recently got this unique opportunity during a training exercise in Latvia. Army Sergeant Tyler Sletton tells us more.
Soldiers from the 173rd Airborne Brigade participated in a unique jump today in Latvia as part of a NATO Land Forces exercise.
My name is Michael Charles Henry. I am the Battalion Command Sergeant Major for 1st Battalion 503rd Infantry Regiment. What we're doing here today is we're doing a paratroop operation over here on Unity DZ over here in Latvia.
Today we're doing it with UH-60s from 12th Combat Aviation Brigade. So the UH-60, it gives you a smaller platform with a smaller footprint, so you jump less paratroopers. But it's a lot of fun, so it's very different from a regular fixed-wing aircraft. You have to jump out of the doors or over the ramp. This one, you're just sitting there right in the doors, and so it's a unique experience for the guys as you put 6 to 8 paratroopers in there with the jump master, and they get to sit out there and they're flying over, flying over terrain, waiting to approach the DZ, and you have the wind in your face. It's a pretty neat experience for guys and a unique one that they'll remember.
They're doing great. You can see it from here. Everyone's watching their buddies jump. As we go chalk by chalk, the guys are doing great. They're doing the right thing, and most importantly is they're having fun and they're enjoying themselves with their Latvian and Canadian counterparts.
It's training we need to do. It's fun, and we're demonstrating commitment, so you can't ask for more.
Reporting for the 116th Public Affairs Detachment, I'm Army Sergeant Tyler Sletton.
Active duty soldiers aren't the only ones capable of carrying out air assaults. National Guard soldiers like to get in on the action too. As Army Sergeant Mark Owen reports, what may first seem like a lot of fun actually requires a lot of hard work, education, and persistence.
I know what to expect for the most part, and just everything's really has to be done in a certain way.
You get up in the morning, doing PT.
That's so much attention to very small details. It was a lot of equipment and information I've never looked at before, that I've never had hands-on experience before.
It's a lot of studying. This is harder than college. I've been to college.
Lock in, you tell you to lock in, right? You guys do that? See how it works?
We are the only mobile training team that travels the world to teach air assault, active duty, reserve, and National Guard.
Well, trust your guy. You'll be all right.
Even when we go to active duty bases, they don't know we're National Guard till about halfway through, and when we tell them, they're amazed that we're actually all National Guard. Come on. Enter bed, break out the top AC.
It means a lot to National Guard because we actually are a fighting force just like the active duty Army. So we can get the same opportunities the active duty soldiers have.
Cool. Step forward, take a knee, stand up with your brake hand. Right hand, brake hand, air assault sergeant.
They're going to just strictly be rappelling from the 34-foot tower.
All right, close this shit.
That's another huge challenge is height.
Line one on the bell!
But again, I think that's something that you make the mental commitment before you go up.
Put your feet on the edge, push them out. Same thing as we did on the ground. Ready?
That's what this course is all about, is just putting one foot in front of the other, making the commitment to see it through.
Rappel halfway down the wall after you break back
right
and
there.
easy, understand?
Roger, Air Assault Sergeant.
What we've learned here, I've retained, and they've been so in-depth into everything we've had to learn in such a little time that, I mean, we're all capable of being, experts in sling load operations, which is what air assault really is.
And seeing them go from a bunch of individuals to a team in sometimes a matter of hours is probably the sheer enjoyment for almost all of us out here.
The number of soldiers that we've had start this course and who are here right now prior to graduation, they've put out so much and demonstrated very strong spirit. They've done very well, and I contribute that to the Missouri National Guard.
There's absolutely nothing that's standing in my way.
You'll let a lot of things go by if you don't take the opportunity. You got to suck it up and keep it moving and go. Because if you don't do it, who knows when the next air assault course is going to happen. So that means you miss out on a lot of opportunity.
Next repeller, step forward, take a knee, sound of the brake hand.
Special Operations Forces are usually the go-to for covert, unconventional, or highly sensitive missions. NATO Channel correspondent Ruth Owen speaks to military officials who make the case that a worldwide network of Special Forces teams offers an increasingly cost-effective solution to combat global threats.
Get down! Get down! They're known as the door kickers of the world, and here at an exercise in Tampa, Florida in the United States, a multinational cohort including American, Norwegian, Dutch and Estonian Special Operations Forces show off what they're famous for: rapid surgical strikes to take out an enemy. But Special Operations Forces trained to operate in remote, hostile environments, often in small numbers or even alone, can provide a lot more than brute force, according to experts.
I would say less than 10% of our operations are kinetic, and that's a good thing, but you never hear about that. What you hear about always is the ones that do go high-end and high order. It's what makes movies. I mean, nobody wants to see you out there spending 8 or 9 months living in a quartel, with, teaching people how to do basic infantry tactics and stuff. It's just, that's not sexy. Bruce Willis won't star in that movie.
Over a decade of counterinsurgency operations in Afghanistan and Iraq have given allied country special operations forces long experience in working with partners, training up their own indigenous military services.
The ability to interoperate with partners has been a key lesson that we'll carry forward into the future. And that's common language, common tactics, techniques, and procedures, and an understanding of common effort and strategy.
Interoperability is a buzzword, but its significance is greater than mere jargon. Today's global security threats, including a dispersed al-Qaeda network over multiple continents, require a different model to the large long-term deployment of troops.
Every nation can afford to have 500 to whatever well-trained, well-equipped, mature forces that have the capabilities they need to move quickly. And I mean, we're talking hours, not days or weeks or months. That they can operate in an uncertain or often hostile environment.
At a recent conference, Special Forces operators had the chance to look at emerging technology like drone aircraft, cyber intelligence, or even gadgets that could make operators' life in the field a little easier.
So right now we have soldiers that go out every night and they work in a dangerous environment. And we really think that if we had more protection, we wouldn't lose those gentlemen. And an exoskeleton is one of the ideas that we may end up using.
But the first truth for Special Operations Forces is humans over hardware, something which a strong alliance can build on.
These efforts are really, in modern day, about the human domain. And I think we continue to learn that in Afghanistan, and we're watching that in the Ukraine as one example. I think this is a role for NATO Special Operations as a collective that we can provide and be successful in.
The decision makers here say that returning Special Operations Forces to a pre-9/11 role, undermanned and reactive to crises, not proactive, is unthinkable. But it will take long-term and resolute global partnership to maintain the high-level skills of these operators. Ruth Owen in the United States for NATO Channel.
This is Specialist Richard McKay from Meadville, PA. I'm currently deployed with the 252nd Engineer Group to Bagram, Afghanistan. I'd like to send a shout out to my friends and family back in Meadville. Hope to see you guys soon.
Hi, my name is Lieutenant Michael Johnson. I'm from Santa Monica, California. I'm currently here stationed in Kandahar, Afghanistan. I want to send a shout out to my friends and my family in Santa Monica, California, Phoenix, Arizona, and Chicago, Illinois.
Hi, Lieutenant Patrick Goebel, stationed in Kandahar, Afghanistan. I want to shout out to my wife and family in Colorado Springs, Shelly, Spencer, Serena, Soren, Stiles, Sutton, and Stryker, soon to be born. And happy anniversary, babe. Love you. Be home soon.
Hi, I'm Major Curtis Knight, and I'm from Allen, Oklahoma. Stationed at Tinker. I'm here at Qatar. I'd like to give a shout out to my wife, Rachel, oldest son, Kyle, daughter, Kelsey, and youngest son, Cade. Hi, I love you guys. See you soon.
Coming up, Afghan soldiers master their artillery training. And we'll showcase some of the best photos from our service members as In the Fight, presented by Divots, continues. Roughly how far can the M777 howitzer fire an unassisted artillery round? The answer when we return.
I want to give a shout out to my family and friends.
I want to send a shout out to my husband,
to my parents, my family back home.
I'd like to give a shout out to my girlfriend.
To my family and friends in Lansing, Michigan.
To my family out in Tucson, Arizona.
To my beautiful wife and children in Des Moines, Iowa.
To everybody in Texas.
In York, Pennsylvania.
Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Chicago, Illinois. Harrisonburg, Virginia.
Orlando, Florida.
Oceanside, California. And Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
I love you guys. I miss you, and I hope I'll see you soon.
The environment is my passion. Every day, I live for the outdoors and all of its challenges. That's why I enlisted in the Coast Guard. Now, I serve to protect the environment and defend my country. It's like I was born for this.
Were you born ready for a greater challenge? Find out at gocoastguard.com.
Marine Forces Europe and Africa works with allies and partners on 2 continents, providing a unique capability to combatant commanders as a rapid response to global threats, and promoting regional stability and military capacity. Operating on the forefront of crisis response in every climate place. Marine Forces Europe and Africa. Forward deployed, forward engaged, ready to respond.
Roughly how far can the M777 howitzer fire an unassisted artillery round? The answer is C, 15 miles. The power of accurate artillery can be devastating on the battlefield, and Afghan soldiers of the 201st Corps have spent 5 weeks learning the skill. Army Staff Sergeant Daniel Sullivan takes us to Naglu High to see the culmination of their training.
The boom of a D-30 howitzer rings in the air during the last D-30 certification of the Afghan 201st Corps. This 3-day event was run entirely by the Afghan Army.
It's a very proud moment to see them in the lead and doing the certifications on their own and us doing minimal support. We're basically just bringing them out here and they're doing all the work.
The Afghan soldiers target a terrain feature roughly 5 miles away and must hit within 570 yards. This requires the coordination of forward observers, the Fire Direction Center, the survey team, and the gun line. Luckily, several Afghan master gunners are on site making sure everything goes smooth, which they should, considering these teams are already doing real fire missions.
During the past elections, there were numerous fire missions throughout the Corps in support of the elections, and there was 0 civilian casualties. It was all safe and accurate fires.
The Fire Direction Center and forward observers ensure the artillerymen fire the D-30's 122mm rounds accurately so they can support the Afghan troops on the front lines.
By safely and accurately firing the D-30, it allows them to work better hand in hand with the infantry, thus giving them a stronger army and allowing them to secure their nation.
Good. Artillery for the Afghan National Army is a huge step for them. Once coalition forces start pulling out and leaving, they weren't going to have that air support that they normally have and rely on. So with them relying more on these D-30s, they'll be able to support their troops that are out there in the open and fighting against the Taliban and other organizations.
The certification was a success. More than 30 Afghan soldiers received their certification on the howitzer that will be the future of their artillery. Reporting from Naglu High, I'm Army Staff Sergeant Daniel Sullivan.
Wounded warriors deserve a warm welcome when returning from the front lines, but some don't even have a stable place to call home. As Air Force Senior Airman Alex Goad reports, one organization is hoping to change that by giving service members a place to hang their hat.
Helping a Hero, an organization that supports and provides for injured military members. Their main goal is to build new homes for a specific group of warriors.
We are looking for the 70% or greater disabled combat wounded veteran from Iraq or Afghanistan. So that's really our target audience. And our purpose is to build those specially adapted homes to meet their needs to help them with their injuries.
Retired Marine Corporal Michael Egan lost both of his legs during a deployment to Afghanistan in 2012. And while getting a new home could never make up for an injury like that, to him, this house has a special meaning.
It's definitely a place you can call home, because when I've been deployed, I've gone all around the world, and there's no place like coming home. And by home, I just mean the United States, and because you know when you're home. And it's just from the people and the atmosphere of seeing a guy in uniform just coming home. So it's a great experience for sure.
With the entire neighborhood showing up, a special performance from Lee Greenwood, and receiving a new home, Michael was overwhelmed with emotion.
And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly
still feels like someone else's home. It's just like absolutely incredible, you know, to, you know, imagine this is my home now. You know, after being in the military for 7 years, not staying in a place more than 6 months, you know, this is home now. So to have that and to have a place that I can call home because of these people coming together is absolutely incredible.
With a hero's welcome back to the States and a new home to call his own, Michael can begin a new chapter of his life. Senior Airman Alex Goad, San Antonio, Texas.
I want to welcome you into my new home as if it were your own. So thank you all for coming today.
DVIDS is a 24/7 operation that provides a timely, accurate, and reliable connection between the media and the military serving worldwide. Through a network of over 200 portable satellite transmitters around the globe and a distribution hub in Atlanta, Georgia, DVIDS gives you access to the front lines with live and archived broadcast video, still imagery, and print products. Visit our website at dvidshub.net and search through our enormous video and photo library. Register on our website to gain complete access to high-definition content, along with breaking news alerts and webcasts from top military officials. For questions or comments about In the Fight or DVIDS, you can email us at ondemand@dvidshub.net or follow us on Twitter and Facebook. As we close, we feature some of the best photos that DVIDS has to offer, as we listen to Eddie Horst's composition, Pangea. See you next time, In the Fight.